Hi guys, in today's tutorial we'll be making use of Revit 2023 and we'll be discussing some few problems that we encounter every day. So we'll be looking at some view due to display model and also view problem due to visibility graphics, and also we have problem associated with displaying view problem, and we have problem which occurs because of crop crop in a view. And then we also talk about problem due to view range. These are the things we will be looking at one after the other. So let us move. To look where we have walls, these are walls. But coming down to ground floor, you find out that our walls they are not showing. So what could cause this particular problem? But if you go back to our 3D, you see that we have walls at the ground floor. This is the ground floor level. Was here. So the problem could have been as a result of so many things, but let us start with taking under the graphic the display model. So when you have this kind of situation, the first thing, maybe come to this place and check the model. What do we have here? Is it normal half tone do not display? You see the problem, it was ticked, do not display was ticked. So assuming we click on this half tone, okay, doesn't this is somehow easy, doesn't still solve our problem. Now if we click on this normal, comes out easy. So this is a problem associated with this display model. So whenever you tick this do not display, it removes all the models here. Whenever you now tick normal, it brings back all the models here. But assuming you still click normal and still we don't have some of the words to be. No, if you go to our 3D, you find out that we have walls all around this particular, all the places, under this ground floor level. But when we come to this our ground level, we find out that we don't have wall along this place. So what will be the problem? Now it is no longer under the display model, and so where the problem could be you check what do we have here. Okay, now you see under these model categories, what you have here tick is structure. Yes, but assuming you now click architecture, or architecture displays everything. Now if you click architecture and come to this place, you find out that it doesn't display. So what is the problem? Then we now come down to where we have a discipline. Maybe you might have made a mistake of clicking under the display. You might have clicked. Now if I click architecture inside the wall, that's to tell you that this particular wall here is a structural member. Maybe it's a shear wall. So if I click on this, let's check. Find out that it's a shear wall. See now, but this is an architectural wall. Okay, it is not ticked. So this is an architectural wall. So most often you find out that why some in a particular view some things are not being seen could be because of the particular discipline that is being ticked. Now in this case it is architecture, that's why we are seeing everything. And also in some cases it could have been mechanical that have been ticked. So you see everything is under hazy. So for it to be seen, or for you to see all the words, you need to go back to either you go back to architectural or you go back to coordination, which will bring out all the drawing you have. So that is also about some words not showing because of display choose, or even some element not showing at all or showing his because of the display that you have chosen. Also, okay, let us also look at even this 3D. Find out that okay, under this 3D everything is showing. But assuming you make a mistake under this particular view and click structure, you see some of these walls will move out. Let's show you that the walls that have been appearing along this place have been the architectural wall, while this is a shear wall. Now for you to bring it back, you need to go back and click architectural. Architectural brings in everything. You understand? Remember, there are many other things to be discussed under this plan. Again, we also have a problem due to let me just go to foundation level. Now this is my foundation footing. This is just how I'm going to print out. Assuming I want to print out a foundation drawing, but assuming I want all these lines to be continuous, not having this as a separate, joining together at this particular intersection. Then what do I do? Then that what will bring us to this particular problem, which is under detail level. And for you to have a foundation that is joined together, the outline joined this, what you need to do is to come under this detail level and click on make it coarse. Now you see everything has been joined, so that as a structural engineer, if I want to print out the drawing and I want all this thing to be combined, now I'm removing this continuous. So that is also a problem most often that some people encounter. They don't know how to do it. And then if we click under medium, it appears somehow in this as if to say fine, but fine brings out almost all the things. So still talking about some of our detail level, you see this is a particular column, this is a column, then this is a wall, and this wall moves this way. Now here you want all this line to be joined, not having so many clumsy lines. No, this is under the detail level, is under fine, and fine will show you all the elements visible within this view. Or if I really want to have these walls continue with this column as a single line, all you need to do is to come under the detail level and click on pass. Okay? Now this will make all the lines to be joined, just as we did in the foundation. We also look at some problems associated with 3D graphics. Yeah, we will check and see. Now you find out that in our 3D we have a furniture here, we have also a door here, but coming to this ground level, this don't have it appearing. So what could be the problem? Now take a look. We have a door, this, and then we also have a furniture placed inside. Let me place this under wireframe. Okay, if you look where we have the furniture placed inside, but when we come back to our ground level, those things are not appearing, but they are supposed to be appearing because our view range covers it, and our door here is not appearing. So what will be the problem? Now if you come under this visibility graphic, come on, you will now click on this and check whether our doors, you see our doors are not ticked, this place. And also coming down here, you see that our furniture is also, so you could have made a mistake by ticking this. So just tick it back and check whether our doors and furniture come back. Okay, it comes back. So this is also a problem associated with visibility. Okay, coming to this our first floor, you find out that we don't have a grid line, but we have grid line in ground floor. But coming to this our first floor, we don't have grid line. It will be the problem. It's still under this visibility graphic that you can see some. Maybe if you come under this visibility, okay, let's see. This model, then coming to this annotation category, take our grid line to know whether it has been ticked. Whether it is on tick, or you see our grid line is on tick. So if you click on it and hit apply, find out our grid line comes out. So this particular issue could arise because of so many things. Maybe you mistakenly unticked it, and you'll be worried about why did this move out. Okay, so if you also look, you notice that under this our first floor, we have grid moving along y-axis. We don't have grids here. So what do you do to bring back the grids? Now let's move to maybe north. Okay, let's move to east. Now if you look where you find out that our grids has been drawn below our first floor level. So we need to drag it up above this level for you to see it, above this first floor for you to see it in the first floor plan, and also to drag it above the second floor level for you to see it in the second floor plan. So we'll start by dragging this up, drag it up above, So if you now go back to our first floor, you find out that the grid lines are already appearing. See, so this is one of the problems we always see. A grid line not appearing in some views. So we also have a problem with sometimes grid lines not appearing in 3D. You can see we don't have any grid line appearing in 3D. But if you come to our first floor, we have a grid line. If you come to our our foundation floor, foundation level, we have a grid line. But coming to this 3D, we don't have grid lines appearing here. What then do we do? Now, what we need to do, just come to this, look at this. There is a place we need to find where we have grid. Now, come to this show grids. Click on edit. So you see that all these under this show grids, none of these flaws has been ticked. So we tick all of them for you to see it, for you to see the grid lines. So if you click OK now, all the grid lines has brought back. You see, now it seems somehow clumsy. Assuming you want to make only the second floor to have grid lines under the 3D, do somehow better this way. This is how to make our 3D have grid lines depending on the level. If you want it to have grid lines only on first floor, it will now come down. Our grid line is now appearing in our 3D. This is how to make our grid lines appear in different levels on that 3D. Okay, so sometimes we also have a problem of grid line not showing properly in 3D. Means the grid lines are not just very clear, somehow shady. So how do we solve this particular problem? So the problem could have been a sort of the graphic display. Okay, I think this is under realistic. Now if you change it to shaded, all the grid lines comes back. If you move it to top, all the grid lines comes back. So this is how to make, but when it is under realistic, somehow shady. Sometimes the grid line might not show, sometimes it will show, some parts will not use. So this is how to solve the problem. Just come to this particular graphics option and maybe tick shaded or hidden lines. Let's check. If you tick say shaded, you find out that all the grid lines should be visible. So that is also it. Also, we'll be looking at a problem concerning some view not being complete. Okay, in this case, if you look at this 3D, we have a lecturer column placed at this point, at this grid lines sees, along these grid lines. But if we come to our ground floor, you can see our lecturer column. You understand? The base constraint is foundation level. That means it must have passed our ground floor. The problem is not something too far-fetched. So the problem could have been as a sort of maybe it has been cropped off. Now, for us to check, we can come to this find where there is a crop region. Okay, this is sorry. Okay, this is it. So if you come under this crop region, you find out that it has been ticked. Crop region. See? So your problem is as a result of this crop. Now, if you want to check to see the crop, maybe you mistakenly cropped without doing, you can generally extend this and untick this. So by doing this, you will now be able to see all your drawing within this particular view. So that is the problem we always see with crop. Well, this issue of crop and not being able to see our, just as we saw in our ground floor, is not only associated with floor. It could also be it could be seen in 3D. Okay. Now taking a look at this our particular 3D, you find out that this grid line just something is blocking it along this place. Move this drawing, find out that something is really blocking this drawing along this. So what is then the problem? Why is it not showing complete? It's a result of crop. So if you come to this crop region visible, if you tick it, you see the crop region. So whenever you have a problem like this, always check crop to see whether it is associated with crop. You can adjust this very well so that it won't be able to interfere with the crop. Whenever we now remove this crop whenever we move our drawing, it will now be moving without any interference due to the curve. So this is one of the things we see in drawing. Again, most often we find that if we open a drawing, you see that so many lines are being, so many tiny lines are showing, or very hazy lines are showing, and we don't need this. When we want to, we won't like to print this, all these lines, hazy lines that are showing. So what we need to do will be go under this underlay, come to this, scroll down under this underlay. You find out that the base level of our underlay is foundation level, while the top level is unbound. You see, so it's a problem. We have two options to go. Is either we click this underlay as none, so that all every other thing we will be seeing things under the view range of this first floor, or we now take maybe coming to this underlay base level will now be first floor, and then the top level will now be second floor. By doing this, we are already removing everything below this first floor and everything above the second floor. Now, assuming you click this is click as compound, you will find that anything beyond the first level will be seen. For example, it's a wall. Now this wall is beyond the the second floor. Look at now. You can see there's a wall here. This wall is drawn on top, so that when you now come back to this first floor, this is the particular wall we are seeing. So for you not to be seeing this particular wall, all you need to do is come to this top range and make it to the second floor, and then the wall which will be seen as hazy will be removed. So this is one of the things that will always cause problem in underlays appearing as hazy. So that is just it. And meanwhile, you can also choose to be looking down or to be looking up, depending on what you really want to achieve. So that is one of the things we have about underlay. We'll be looking at view range. Now let's take an instance. We can say that we have a window here and also a window here. Then we have a door here. Now for us to have a architectural plan for this, we need to indicate that we have a window on the plan, these two windows, and this is what's going to lead us to discussing what view range is. Now let us understand what we're talking about. Let's go to ground floor. If you come to this ground floor, you find out that we only have the door here, but we don't have the windows appearing. See? Now the reason being that the view range of this particular plan has been don't cover that of where the two windows are located. So let us see what we're talking about. We're going to view range, coming down. Now this view range. Now either you click view range, or you type VR shortcut for view range. Now coming to this page, you see that our view range, it has all these levels, and one thing is view range is interesting and can be confusing, especially if you don't understand where to put, what value to put, and what these different levels, what they stand, you understand how it affects your plan. Now if you watch where you see that this bottom is basically it can take different levels, but when you are talking about bottom, it must, any level you are going to pick as bottom must be below the existing level where you are below the, for example in this case we are talking about ground level, so it must be either on the ground level or below ground level, or it can also, this second or third option can be far unlimited, though you having a range that is not limited. Now coming also for this cut plane, then you make use of offset, and offset is always a measurement from the bottom, that is from where your reference plane is. So this offset here, B12, is always automatic. Most drawing, when you open and Revit drawing, most of the view range is always 1200. Now, but I will still show you how to edit and why to edit this 1200. Then this top is, assuming you are on this bottom and you have this as a cut plane. Cut plane, is just where a particular line has to cut through a building section. Now, assuming you're on this bottom and you have an offset of 1200 as your cut plane, where you will cut through different parts of your walls. Now, beyond this cut plane is what we have called top. Top is, if you are on this bottom and you look up, wherever you are going to see is your top. So that above this top, you might not be able to see anything. Every other thing will not be visible. Now, above this cut plane, every other thing above this cut plane, but within this top, will be visible, but not very much visible. Now, below this cut plane and within this bottom, every other thing within this place will be visible. But below this bottom, you won't be able to see those things clearly. So let us move. Below this bottom, we won't be able to see things very clear. Okay, so we will need to understand this in better by going to a section or an elevation. So let us move to north elevation. I did a small sketch here for us to understand better. Now this particular line here, dotted line is the cut plane. This cut plane, and then this is the top. This is the top, and then this is our reference plane where our plan will be located. Then this is now bottom, below, just as we have under here. Few depths, the depth below the bottom is now this. The depth below the bottom, the depth from here to here. So if you watch well, just as we said, our cut plane here is 1200. This is how it can always come out automatically in most drawing. That is why when you see the drawing and the cut plane cutting through windows and doors, you will be able to see it in floor plan. Now, but in this case, our window is above the cut plane, but within the top. So how are we going to work on this? So what we are going to do, we will now go back to our ground level. Then and type VR, which is shortcut for view range, or you come to this place. Now, if we continue adjusting this, maybe our cut plane to make it maybe 2001, because above that door, assuming the door height is 2001, above this door will be from 2200 to 2300. So the height from this particular plane to this place will be up to 2300, because this door already is giving us 21 something. So to this other side will be giving us 2002 or 2003 in between this place. So what I'm going to do now is, if I come to this ground floor and I type VR, if I should change, and no matter how I change my cut plane, it won't be able to capture this door and my windows, which are supposed to be here. Now, for me to just capture only the window and not capture the door, if I come to this cut plane, or first for this particular top, I can make this in 2/6. But the problem is, when you make this 2/6 and maybe make this one 2/3, this cut plane, so that to be able to cut through our windows, and click apply, you won't be able to see our doors again. Maybe let me make this one 2/5. Let's see our windows. Now you'll be able to see only the windows, but what about the door? But you need to represent both the door and the windows. So that is why, the major reason why I'm doing this tutorial. So let me do Ctrl+Z and go back to how it was. Remember, our windows are located here. So for us to solve this problem, what we need to do is to go under this view. When we come to this view, we have this plan view. So we click on the plan view. Then you click on this plan region, and then you select a line and use it and sketch. This is where our windows are. This is where our windows are located. So we sketch the area. We will create a boundary that will cover the area where our windows are located. Then click OK. Now the next thing you need to do is this is now a different plan within plan. So we need to tell this plan things that we need that will be available in this particular small plan here. So we will now come to edit range. If you come to this edit range, remember our coming to this place, our window, let me just type detail line and draw a line here. Our window is at a depth of 2700. Okay, let me assume my cut plane is going to be at a level of 2700 from the ground floor. You know, you need to cut through a particular object for you to see it fully. If you cut through this particular, let me assume if you cut through this door now, and you cut through this place, this line here, that is, let me use detail line. If you cut through here, you won't be able to see this door properly. Assuming your cut plane is at this particular level, you won't be able to see this door very, very well. That is why your cut plane should be across the door itself. Likewise, in this our window, our cut plane will be across these windows. So let me delete these two things. Now going back to our ground floor and then coming to this our planned region, I will now click this and click range, view range. Now our cut plane, our bottom, that is where our reference plane is a ground level, and we are leaving it at offset 0, 0. Now our cut plane, when we still can leave it at ground level. Now, but the only difference is, first of all, we need to change this thing so that it will be beyond this our cut plane. So we can change this thing to be something like 2.8, so that our cut plane will be something like 2.7. Okay, so we'll now hit apply. Okay, okay, very fine. I thank God this mistake came up so that we try and check what the issue is. Now you see, because this region has already covered this door, it had to, because I told you this is a different plan, so it's covered this the view range for this normal plan has been override by this particular plan region. So what we now need to do is to edit our view range. So what we do, we'll use this line and then maybe okay, then shift and then split this particular two lines and trim off this way and then hit OK. So by doing this, we have left the region for the doors to appear and then make our windows to appear at this particular level. So for us to, because eventually I'm going to print out this particular drawing, you don't need to print out this, so we just need to hide it. Maybe hide by element to hide it. You see, now this has already shown us a detail telling maybe the people that are building this house that this particular, there's a door here, a window here, and then there is a window here. Now the person will now use the section or the elevation to know the height. So, and again, let me see, check one or two things you can do. Assuming I am at this view, okay, let me see, go back to this ground level. Assuming I want to see things that are beyond our first floor. You understand? I want to see things beyond our first floor, and we're under this ground level. You still need to go back to view range. In this case now, our top level will be above first floor. So, and then offset, you can still leave this offset this way, but our cut plane will now be bottom is still associated ground level. Now you can make this one maybe 3001, then maybe this one is still 2.5. Now this 3001 is, I will show you why I did it this way. Assuming let me go to my north elevation. The height, I want to dimension this, the level between here and here is 4,000. Oh, it's even more than 3,000 where I was thinking. Okay, this is 4,000. So if I come back to ground level, and remember I want to see things beyond this particular level, I want to see what we have here. So, and let me assume, coming to this our 3D, let me assume we have a furniture on top this place, going back to our second floor, and then bring our furniture this place, so that when we go to our 3D, okay, second floor, so be at the first floor, yeah. So we want to see this furniture staying at the ground floor. Well, so just as we say, remember, this is still our ground floor. So onto this our first floor, we will see this furniture, which is the bed. Now, for us to see the furniture, the bed that we added around here, what we just need to do is very simple. Just go back to this plan view and click on this plan region. Now remember, it is located around here, so we'll just use this and highlight the area we think is located, which is here. Now click OK. We'll now come to this our view range. Now we can change our cut plane, even our bottom. We can our cut plane, we can change it to be on the first floor. Then I don't want to be using too much offset here. And then our top, let's still leave it at first floor, so that I can now make my cut plane, the offset to be maybe that kind 1,000, and then maybe make this one 2,000, so that from the first floor to that bed, which is a bunk, the height won't exceed, will exceed 1,000, but this cut plane will still cut through it. So maybe the height might be around 1,500, 1.5 meters, so that this cut plane will now cut it. Or to avoid too much guesses, let's just make it 700, and hit apply. You see, the thing now comes out. You now hit OK. So having this cut plane, now we need to hide this particular plan region. We need to hide it. So, but the best way to carry this out, let's repeat this edit and align this thing to this particular bed edges. So I will type align, AL. Now I want it to be aligned to this, then this, align this way. Okay, so I'll now click OK. Now I would like to hide this particular plan region, so I will just hit and say hide element. So you see, with this we are able to show what is on top of our ground level. This bed is on top of the first floor, and we're able to see it on our ground level. Now this particular foundation level is showing here. Reason being that I think I must have clicked view range, and then this view depth I clicked unlimited. So if I don't want to be seeing this foundation, all I need to do is just to click associated level, ground level. So if I click apply, it will move out. So with this we come to the end of this tutorial. Now in the next tutorial we'll be looking at how to export, print, all those things, even how to put our drawing in sheet. So that's just basically what we do in our next tutorial. Thank you honestly.